Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. If you notice my voice is a little raspy, I am just getting over being sick. So I'm gonna try to breeze through this empties video before I have a coughing fit. Starting with the usual, wax melts and room spray. Love white tea and sage, always will repurchase it. Enjoyed salted maple pumpkin and the wax melts from Creme. I do have the 3-wick, which I need to burn. Really enjoyed that fragrance. Cozy Cashmere and Pine was okay from Yankee. It was light and it was more cashmere forward than pine. So nice scent, but super light as far as wax melts go and strength and throw. So that one I would not repurchase. I was incorporating some of my fall candles with winter holiday. So I went ahead and finished up Pumpkin Clove. Strength and throw was a 6 to a 6.5 in my open concept. It mostly filled the living room. Eventually it did develop puny wicks, so I did have to hurricane it. But other than the puny wicks, it burnt fine. It didn't burn hot and fast. It didn't soot too much. I love pumpkin clove, so more than likely it'll be a repurchase for me next fall. Then I finished up Mahogany Vanilla. This was last year's packaging. Love Mahogany Vanilla, always will repurchase it. Strength and throw was between a 7 to a 7.5 and a closed concept without a hurricane. Burn on this one was flawless. And again, love this fragrance, so definitely will repurchase it again. I think I have one more in my stash from this fall's packaging that I'm gonna hold on to. Then we have Fond of You from Goose Creek. Really enjoyed this fragrance. Scent notes are holiday mistletoe, North Pole spruce, holly berries, and rustic cedar. Smelled just like a mistletoe, holly berry type of fragrance with the greenery and the sweet berries. Burn performance was great on this one. I didn't have any complaints. Strength and throw, 6 to a 6.5 in an open concept, solid 7 in a closed concept without a hurricane. I did not repurchase this candle because I do have a lot of tree fragrances to burn through, but I really enjoyed this one. And if it returns next year, I will repurchase it. Really enjoyed Cool Mountain Sunrise. This was my second one. It performed just as bad as my first one at the halfway point. It got sooty. Strength and throw was in the strong medium to high range in both an open and closed concept. Really enjoyed this candle. Wish it would have performed better so I could finish it. Scent notes are crisp bergamot, lemon zest, juniper, and icy waters. Another goodie from Goose Creek, champagne bubbles. Love this packaging. No issues with the burn. Little bit of wick residue once I got past the halfway point, but it didn't soot and burn super hot and fast. This is not a dupe of Champagne Toast from Bath and Body Works. I don't like champagne toast and I really enjoyed this candle. Strength and throw was high in the open concept. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 without a hurricane. Sugar blood orange, pink grapefruit, sparkling sugar, and shimmering bubbles. Don't let the grapefruit note scare you if you aren't a fan of grapefruit fragrances. I did do a dedicated review of this on the channel if you want to check out my in-depth thoughts on the overall fragrance, but really enjoyed this one and definitely will repurchase it. Velvet Amber Woods was really nice in my bedroom. Strength and throw was a solid 7. I did keep it in a hurricane for the majority of the candle because at the first half it did burn a little slow, but other than that it performed pretty good. It didn't burn super hot and fast and sooty. Nice clean burn on this one. This reminds me of In the Stars. I didn't back it up because I do have 2 In the Stars from last candle day that I didn't burn yet. But overall, if you like scents like In the Stars or Baccarat Rouge, then you will enjoy this candle. It did come out for summer SAS. It may pop up for winter SAS. I'm not sure. But this is a really nice fragrance and I really enjoyed it. This right here is my baby, Lavender Snowfall. Absolutely love this candle from Goose Creek. I now have a total of 3 of these from this year. Strength and throw is in the strong medium to high range. I give it a 7.5 to 8. It is strong, but it's not super overpowering, at least not to me. Nice burn on this one. Just a little bit of wick residue towards me finishing out the candle because I just let it burn and finish out. Love this packaging. It was an illuminary. Scent notes are not on this one, but it's pretty much a fresh lavender, aromatherapy type lavender with a fresh peppermint fragrance blend. Very beautiful, highly recommended. It is sold out, but if you didn't get your hands on it this year, definitely be on the lookout for it next year and purchase it. I highly recommend this candle and I will always repurchase it as long as it's around. Then I finally finished up Sunkissed Daffodils from Peter Rabbit. Scent notes, no scent notes, but this was a nice fruity floral fragrance. High strength and throw in an open concept and closed concept. There were times that it burned a little hot, so I did have to keep my eye on it. You can see the wick residue and a little bit of soot in the jar. I didn't back this one up, but I did enjoy the fragrance, and if something like this returns, I would definitely repurchase it. Then we have Espresso Cake Pop. Really enjoyed this candle. I'm not a big fan of chocolate fragrances, and this one definitely leaned more chocolate than espresso. It had that cake batter note in there. It smelled like frosting, so true to its name for the most part. Other than the espresso part, I feel like it leaned more chocolate, like mocha. Strength and throw was in the high range. I give it an 8 out of 10 in an open concept, and it did burn a little hot at times with some soot and wick residue. I did enjoy this one, but I don't think I'll repurchase it just because I'm not super big on chocolate fragrances. I have to be in the mood for them. But if you like that type of scent profile, then you may enjoy this one from Goose Creek. Apple Leaf was amazing from Kringle. I love this jar style. This was in the high range for me in the open concept. I did have it in a Hurricane where it was between an 8 to an 8.5 in an open concept. No issues with the burn. Towards the end, the wicks kept drifting and I kind of got tired of repositioning them. So it looks like I have a lot of wax left. So I just blew it out and called it a day. It was pretty much at the end of the candle. Probably could have burned it a little longer, but Kringle definitely needs to work on the glue that they use for their clips, because when I do get to the end of their candles, I don't put them in a Hurricane for that very reason, because the wicks do shift. And sometimes they'll stay in place when I don't put it in a Hurricane, and sometimes they still just drift. Even if I trim the wicks and keep the flames, you know, at a medium height, it'll still just drift, and I don't like that. So hopefully Kringle will work on that next year. But overall, I enjoyed this fragrance. It smells just like the name, like a nice, like fresh skin of the apple with the leaf in the stem. Very authentic fragrance. Really enjoyed it and would repurchase it. Then we have Homemade Toffee from Goose Creek. This was one that I didn't care for like the first time it came out. I think I purchased it 2 years ago, and it was very strong and very sweet. Purchased it again this year. Strength and throw was much better. It was a solid 7 for me. Strong medium in an open concept without a Hurricane. I think at the midpoint it did get puny wicks, so I stopped trimming them. Cotton balled it once and it was fine. Didn't burn too hot and fast. Didn't get too much soot. A little bit of soot and a little bit of wax discoloration, but it wasn't a terrible dirty burn. And it definitely smelled like an authentic sweet toffee fragrance. So I don't know if this one is still available on the site. If you like sweet gourmand fragrances, then you may enjoy this one. Scent notes are coconut creme, which I don't believe I got coconut in this, sea salt, creamy caramel, toffee crunch, and vanilla. Another one of my favorites from Goose Creek. This is Christmas, not to be mistaken for a dupe of the Perfect Christmas from Bath and Body Works. Scent notes pine, eucalyptus, cinnamon. Open concept, I give it a solid 7 to 7.5, so strong medium without the use of a Hurricane. Didn't give me too much performance issues. Always towards the end, I just let my candles burn. And, you know, I'll keep an eye on them as they finishing out, but I'll just let them burn until pretty much majority of the wick is black and I can see the wick clips. So I don't mind when it gets a little murky towards the end, but overall performance was great. I didn't hit the cotton ball this one. Great strength and throw. Love this fragrance. I repurchased it this year, and if it comes back next year, I'll pick it up again. Lavender and Pine from Bath and Body Works. Absolutely love this stunning wraparound label. However, to me, the lavender didn't come through for me. To my nose, while this was lit, it smelled more like Tree Farm, which is a nice fragrance, but I would have loved to have a nice lavender and pine scent. Burn performance was great with this one. I didn't have any issues. Scent notes are freshly picked lavender, cedarwood bark, and frosted pine. Because I had literally just burned through a Tree Farm before I had burnt this one, once I finally burnt this and it was similar to Tree Farm, I didn't back it up. It is a nice pine fragrance. I know a lot of people did purchase this one. They loved the packaging and they loved the name of the candle and the fragrance. So definitely popular, but for me, it was a one and done. Another beautiful fragrance and label from Goose Creek, Pomelo and Pine Needle Tea. Now, when I reviewed this, the strength and throw was between a 6 to a 6.5 in my open concept for the first half of the candle. It was a solid 7 in a closed concept. Once I got past the halfway point in a Hurricane, the strength and throw increased to about a 7.5 to 8. So it was in the strong medium to high range. I really enjoyed this fragrance. It didn't give me too many issues, just a little bit of wick residue towards the end of it finishing out. Scent notes are Pink pomelo, grapefruit, brewed tea, and pine needles. Don't let the pine needles scare you. This is not a heavy pine, fruity grapefruit scent. It's more grapefruit with a nice brewed tea note in the background, which makes it more of a warmer grapefruit fragrance than a fresh, citrusy grapefruit for like spring or summer. Really enjoyed this candle. I did not back it up because I do have pink grapefruit from Kringle that I'm working on burning through, but I really enjoyed this candle, and I like that Goose Creek stepped outside the box and made something different. I had a lot of sparkly packaged candles this year. Autumn Woods, this is last year's packaging. I love Autumn Woods. It's one of my favorite fragrances from Bath & Body Works for the fall. English lavender, dark walnut, white amber, very beautiful fall fragrance that doesn't have that typical apple spice and pumpkin spice scent to it. Strength and throw was in the strong medium range, 7 to a 7.5 in a closed concept without a hurricane, and the burn was flawless. Every time this comes out, I purchase it. So now that I burnt through this one, if it returns next fall, because you know how Bath & Body Works is, I would definitely repurchase this candle. Another goodie from the Peter Rabbit collection, Pink Peonies, another nice floral fragrance, doesn't have the scent notes to it. Really enjoyed this candle. Strength and throw was a 7 in a closed concept and about a 6.5 in an open concept. So filled up a room. I kept it in my living room and it would travel up my staircase. Didn't have a lot of performance issues with this one. It didn't burn hot and fast. Of course, towards the end of me finishing it, a little bit of wick residue. But if this returns, I definitely will repurchase it. Fresh Powder from Yankee. I did a dedicated review of this candle as well. Really enjoyed this candle. Strength and throw was a medium, 6 in a closed concept without a hurricane, 7 in a closed concept with the hurricane. This one did burn hot and got sooty at times, so I definitely had to keep my eye on it and watch my burn time so that it wouldn't get super murky and then the fragrance get messed up. But other than that, it was nice. I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. But I did enjoy it for what it was. So this one will probably go on clearance with Yankee. And if you like fresh scents, definitely check out my dedicated review so you can hear a little bit more about the fragrance in case it's something you're interested in. But for the 3-wick, I enjoyed it. And I feel like if you enjoy fresh, clean scents like this one, then definitely go ahead and pick it up while it's on clearance. I purchased 2 balsam fir candles from Kringle back in the summertime when they were going on sale and this was in stock. Now this one, the fragrance is very authentic to, this is one of the most authentic balsam fir tree fragrances I've ever smelled. So I purchased it twice. Strength and throw was in the low to low medium range in my open concept, and that was with the hurricane in my living room area. So it was more of a background tree scent. I would say the most that it got up to was a 5 and about a 4 without the hurricane. So it doesn't have the scent notes. Fresh balsam, pine, green, eucalyptus, musk, sweet, and wood. Absolutely enjoyed it. I do wish it was stronger. I'm not mad that I have a backup of it, but I think next year if I shop fragrances with Kringle for winter holiday, I didn't get any of the new scents. I'm going to stick to Christmas because I really enjoyed Christmas the first time I had it. But as far as an authentic scent, this was amazing. I'm sure if I would have burned both of them at the same time in a hurricane in my open concept, it would have met my expectations. But overall, nice authentic tree scent. And I love the label on this one. Whipped Honey and Vanilla from Bath & Body Works was another nice one. Strength was a 6, throw was a 7 in an open concept with a hurricane. Because without a hurricane, it was light in my open concept area. Not too many issues as far as the burn performance. This had that similar vanilla base of vanilla coconut surf, but then it was more floral than just coconut and vanilla, like vanilla coconut surf. I think that one might have had, did that one have a neroli note? I can't remember. So similar, but not exactly the same. Enjoyed it, only purchased one. And I just feel like if they bring back vanilla coconut surf, that one had a better strength and throw and I enjoyed that one more. But this one was still nice and I enjoyed it for what it was, and I love the label. Whitewater Springs from Goose Creek was amazing. It has a grapefruit note listed, but it didn't smell like grapefruit. It legit smelled like a spring of water washing over rocks, like a mineral, salty, fresh water fragrance. Really enjoyed it. So much so I did repurchase it, even though the strength and throw was like a low medium, I would say 5 to 5.5 in a closed concept. It burned hot sometimes, so I had to keep my eye on it and not go past 2.5 hours of burn time. So you'll see a little bit of wick residue and some soot, but it wasn't super, super terrible because I didn't overburn it, and I made sure to stay on top of trimming my wicks. Even though this one was on the low medium side, I really enjoyed this fragrance and I burned through it super fast, and I think it's sold out. So if you like fresh aquatic scents that don't have a cologne smell to it, and it actually smells like fresh water and like a mineral, salty, almost like rocks with fresh water, this is a great candle and I highly recommend it. Strength and Throw is a little soft. At the most, it could probably get up, at least this one, to a 6 in a closed concept. So it's not overpowering, but a really nice, fresh, clean fragrance. Late Night was from the Valentine's Day collection last year. Fresh, kind of masculine cologne type of scent. Highest I think this one went to was a 6 in a closed concept without a hurricane. I think this one might have burned hot and fast. You can see all that wick residue and some soot. So this one I wouldn't repurchase just because the fragrance was just okay. The packaging is nice. I did like the packaging, and I think this usually returns for Valentine's Day. So if it does come back next year, I'm more than likely going to pass on this one. And like I said, for the fragrance and the Strength and Throw, it was just okay. I liked it, enjoyed it for what it was, but I wasn't in love with it to a point where I feel like I need to repurchase it again. Then we had Follow the Yellow Brick Road. This was strong. This had a high Strength and Throw. I would say I think I gave this an 8. Burn performance wasn't too terrible on this one. For the most part, it burned nicely. It wasn't my favorite because it had a dominant raspberry note, which I'm not a fan of. And the raspberry was tart, but then it also had that powdery, sweet, sugary type of scent to it. So red berries, sweet pears, spring blooms, and sugar. This was definitely more fruity than floral. And I believe this one is sold out. I didn't repurchase it, but it was nice and it had a nice strong Strength and Throw in an open concept. So if you did get your hands on this one and you like raspberry fragrances, then you'll really enjoy this candle. And last but not least, we had Winter from last year. Now I love Winter from Bath and Body Works. This is one of the first candles that got me into shopping for candles at Bath and Body Works, especially during winter holiday season. This candle got on my nerves so bad. It had that deep colored wax. So from the first burn, even though it burned nice and clean, no issues with the burn as far as sooting, but the wicks from the first burn were puny throughout this whole entire candle. I kept it in a hurricane. There was one time that I just burned it all day from sun up to sundown. Of course, I was home all day and I kept my eye on it, kept it in a hurricane and just let it burn until it finished. I love Winter, but if it comes with colored wax next year and them thick ropey wicks, I'm going to pass on it because this was a disaster burning this candle. Yeah, so other than that, love Winter, didn't love the performance. Strength and Throw was still great on it though. Even though it struggled, it was a strong Strength and Throw. I give it an 8 to an 8.5 in an open concept in my hurricane. And for those who don't know, Winter is white woods, pine needles, sparkling clementine, and spiced clove. So a nice pomander scent. Hopefully Bath and Body Works will just put it in the White Barn collection with white wax and either thin flat wicks or thin core wicks. And it'll perform much better next year. That's it, you guys. That wraps up my last candle empties for 2024. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if my voice was raspy at some points. I was sipping water in between breaks to try to get the raspiness to go away so it wouldn't be too annoying. As you can see, I'm enjoying gingerbread bakery. This will probably be done probably by tomorrow. If you can see in that corner, you see the Goose Creek box. That is my Goose Creek Candle Day haul. So hopefully I can get that video filmed and uploaded over the weekend for you guys. I hope you all, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, have a happy and safe holiday. And you guys will hear from me again before the new year. So take care. If you happen to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, bye.